Hey guys, Marsingan here, bringing another Dragon Ball Z Dokkan battle video, and so today we are going to talk about the Christmas banner for Global, which was of course technically the Tanabata banner on JP. This is going to be dropping tomorrow, Christmas Day. Interesting that they decided that to be the day of release. Hopefully you guys will all be having a great day, hopefully having a great day today as we lead up to Christmas. Whatever it is you guys do, whether you celebrate or not, if you just see family, anything like that, I hope you guys have a good time. I will be away actually for Christmas Day. In fact, by the time this video goes up, I will be away already. So no updates, a lot of stuff being pre-recorded until I get back, but hopefully we all enjoy this time of the year. And we're going to talk about this banner. So the banner's going to be dropping. We do know from the news already that we are going to be getting, I say the news, from the data from the most recent update, data download. We will be getting purchasable ticket packs for this banner, as well as the fact we have been collecting those rainbow tons of thanks tickets, and that was announced in the producer letter that there will be an extra 20 of those available from missions, and those will be to use on this banner. So this banner is always a pretty good one when it returns to Global in terms of the units that are actually available to get, especially the first time returns. Which is, of course, the Super Saiyan 4 Goku and the 8-year anniversary LRs, the GT Duo and the Buu Duo. But the question, of course, you know, the title of the video is, should you summon on this banner? Because when we take a look, you can see right here, we have 3 rows of 6 featured SSRs. So 18 featured SSRs on this banner, which means if you do a summon, you get a combo, maybe you get like a Super Vegito fusion or something like that, right? You've got a 1 out of 18 chance to get the specific unit that you want. So in terms of, you know, normal banners with featured SSRs, this is one of the ones with by far the biggest featured pool. And if we take a look at some of the units that are on here, some of these units are already very outdated, even with an easy A, right? Like the bottom row, for example, of SSRs, Omega, Super 17. I mean, Super 17, you can kind of get away in some events, right, on an Android team, but he still takes a lot of damage. Omega, Super 17, the TUR Super Saiyan 4s, fairly outdated at this point. The GT Super Saiyans are outdated, but they don't have their easy A's yet. So that'll be interesting to see when those eventually come out. I expect them to be quite good. Then we have Tech Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta. Again, pretty outdated at this point, especially being a tech unit in as this AoE meta gets all of his defense on Super. AGL Gogeta can still be pretty decent because of the built-in dodge. Broly is okay. I think he was, you know, most people didn't like him on release. I feel like on release of his Easy A, he was a bit underrated, but he definitely hasn't aged particularly well since then. In UI Goku, obviously quite old now. Same with Blue Evolution Vegeta. And then we have the featured LRs, the physical Blue Boys, the OGs, the Blue Kaioken and Blue Evolution Vegeta. They're definitely going to be due an Easy A sometime soon, and I could expect them to be very good. Maybe the next time we get a Tournament of Power themed celebration, especially if it is going to be the anniversary, which a lot of people are speculating, this Easy A could be very, very good. Then we have the Tech Gogeta. I recently did a re-showcase for him. It was kind of funny getting him to nullify Fusions and Masu's super attack, but outside of funny interactions like that, the unit is definitely very outdated and not particularly useful anymore, but an Easy A will obviously be coming for him at some point in the future. And bear in mind, these guys are the previous Tanabata LRs from previous years, right? We got the Blue Boys, then we got Gogeta, then we got this next unit, Trunks and Vegeta. They are still very good, still very relevant in a lot of the content, still have a great leader skill and a great team, so they're a solid unit if you still need extra copies of them. Then, of course, we have the 8th anniversary LRs, the Buu Duo and the GT Duo. They've certainly aged a little bit because of the Wicked... I always say Wicked Bloodline for some reason. Dismal Future Red Zone. But still very, very good and still very, very useful, both of them. The Buu Duo, I think, get massively underrated a lot because they do rely on raw defense. But both very good, both very fun units. And then the baby is on here, which is kind of funny because he was the side banner unit for the Full Power Super Saiyan 4 Goku, and he is going to be on the banner as well. So Goku, the Dismal Future Red Zone, again, kind of aged him. When he dropped on JP, he was arguably one of the strongest units in the game, but he needs to get a hit in, get a super in. Like, the first turn is kind of always the most scary for him in tough content. And, of course, the Dismal Future Red Zone came along, where bosses are dropping these nukes on, like, turn 1. It can be very bad for Goku, but he is a unit, well, all units do, of course, but he is a unit that definitely gets a lot stronger with dupes. So if you manage to snag a copy on his first banner and just have him at 55%, or you didn't get him at all, then this is going to be a good opportunity to pick him up. Now, the one thing I do need to point out straight away, unless Global wants to be super generous, which they have not done in the past with this specific thing, Goku will not be available to get with red coins. Now, if you're an older player who was here for, you know, the Tanabata Festival and banner 2 years ago, you probably know exactly what I'm talking about. I'm going to show the examples on the screen here. But if you're a bit newer than that, or you just maybe weren't playing at that time, maybe you didn't check out that banner or didn't log in that week, you know, maybe you're having a short break from the game, you might not know this, but obviously the general pattern for banners coming out and then units going into the coin shop is that they go into the coin shop to buy with whichever color coins it is for that specific unit on the next banner that they return on. So if you are a newer player or you're not used to this format, you might be thinking, well, Goku came out on a banner at the beginning of November, and now he's coming back on a banner here near the end of December, so surely he'll be available with red coins. But unfortunately, the only time, because Global mixes up the schedule the way it does compared to JP, they just copy essentially what JP does. So on JP, when Goku comes out, this banner, the Tanabata banner, actually was live at the same time as him on JP. So both of those banners were out at the same time. So this banner did not count as him returning to the game because he'd just come out and was still available on his own banner. Now, last year, when we had the Tanabata banner, this is last year's version. So there's the Tanabata unit, Vegeta and Trunks, and there's the 7th anniversary LRs, because this banner always returns the anniversary units for the first time. This banner came out on the 5th of December, so it came out a lot earlier in the year because the schedule last year was a little bit different. I did a video on that the other day. But if we scroll back up, so this was the 5th of December. If we scroll back up to the beginning of this celebration, this was the year where the Tanabata unit came out at the end of November after Heroes, the 28th of November, and was running until the 21st of December. Which means this banner and the Tanabata banner were up at the same time, just like they are on JP. So this is the format that we were expecting for this year. If you remember, we were all talking about, we thought we would get Trunks at the beginning of November, then Heroes, and then Super Saiyan 4 Goku. But we got Super Saiyan 4 Goku instead, which basically means we matched up to the 2021 schedule, where the Tech Gogeta unit came out on his banner with the side banner AGL Gotenks at the beginning of November. So this matches up to where Super Saiyan 4 Goku came out this year, right, early November. And then when we jump to December of 2021, this is where the Christmas banner came out. It was on the 23rd last year, which funnily enough is today. Actually, no, this is when I'm recording it, right? This is going up the day before the banner, the 24th. And this was, a lot of people on Global were wondering at this time. It was like, wow, so does that mean Gogeta, because he's coming back technically, he'll be available with red coins? And he wasn't. So that's the only example we have of this in the past, right? When they followed the same format last year, Gogeta was not available with red coins. Well, 2 years ago. Because then last year, the banners were up at the same time, so we wouldn't expect him to be available with red coins. But now this year, we've gone back to that same format where Goku is now going to be, quote-unquote, coming back. But this banner on JP was up at the same time as his original banner, so it seems like they just kind of copy-paste that whole setup over, right? So if the one thing they could do, which would be awesome, especially with morale on Global being a little bit low at the moment, with, you know, the producer letter not giving us any real new information, nothing particularly exciting announced or coming out for the next, like, couple of weeks, especially if you're not even interested in the next Dokkan Fest that's going to drop. It would be kind of cool as a little Christmas gift, I guess you could call it, is that the banner is coming out on Christmas Day. If Goku was available with red coins, that would be awesome, because I'm sure there are people who didn't pull him, are saving their coins for him. People like me, for example, I got one dupe of him, so I would quite like to pick up at least the second one, so he could be at 79%. So it'd be very, very cool if he was available with red coins, but The whole reason for me going through this segment and explaining all of this is to temper your expectations. I do not expect Super Saiyan 4 Goku to be available with red coins. However, the other units all should be, and the 8th anniversary LRs definitely are units that are worth picking up with red coins. I believe I have 2 dupes in both of them, so I'm contemplating whether or not to get like 1 more, right? So they're up to 90%. But I know if I do that or rainbow them, the next time they're back on an actual banner, I'm going to end up pulling multiple copies of them before I pull the new unit, because that's usually what happens to me when I decide to pull the trigger on buying units with red coins. So a lot of the time I'd recommend only ever buying coins. If you're buying dupes with coins, only go up to 2 dupes, because then at least you get the 79%, you get the gold equipment slot, you get all of their abilities in the hidden potential system unlocked, and then the next time they're on a banner, you can still pull 1 or 2 copies of them and not have to feel like you've wasted your coins, right? But if you don't have them at all, I think definitely at least the GT duo are still super worth getting with the coins. They build up that damage reduction, which is really good. They have the revival, which not only, you know, saves your butt, but does the big damage with the Spirit Bomb. And of course, the turn where you're going to get the revival, that GT Vegeta gives everybody a massive attack boost with his support. So they're a really good unit. And the Buu Duo still are good. I still think they're a really fun unit. They can definitely get taken out by some of the big boss super attacks. And both the units are not particularly great against AoEs, especially on turn 1. But they're both still very strong units, very good teams. Definitely recommend picking them up with red coins if you don't have them already. But yes, when it comes to should you summon on the banner, I mean, obviously everyone's going to get the free tickets, so make sure you use those. Make sure you do the missions that get all of the tickets. If you're somebody who does spend money on the game and you want to try getting the purchasable ticket packs, I think it's probably worth a shot. I would say that for me specifically, I'm probably not even going to buy the tickets, because the only thing I really would want to pull from the banner, as I said, with the 8th anniversary LRs already being at 2 dupes for me, all I would really want to get from the banner would be 1 copy of Super Saiyan 4 Goku. And as I've already said, even if you're getting a featured unit, it's a 1 in 18 chance to get the one that you want, right? So with that in mind, I would say when it comes to summoning on the banner, if you're a newer player and you've been stockpiling stones, because nothing super crazy is going to be coming out on Global soon, or at least as far as we know. Again, as I said in the producer letter video yesterday, as much as things look a little bit bleak, you know, they could do some sort of random change, bring out something we're not expecting. But if you have some spare stones and you want to drop a couple of multis, I would say it would be worth it if you're missing, like, well, we won't include Baby, but all of the top row units, right? If you were missing Goku, both the 8th anniversary LRs, Vegeta and Trunks, to an extent Tech Gogeta, because they'll get an easy A eventually, but they're not going to be the one you're going to want to pull, right? But the top 3 LRs, well, the top 4 LRs, Goku, GT Duo, Buu Duo, and Vegeta and Trunks. If you're missing all of them, or even like, you know, 3 of them, for example, maybe doing a couple of multis would be worth it. But I would say do all the missions to get all the free tickets and do all the ticket summons first, because you never know, you might get super lucky and actually pull that one specific one that you want. And then I would say probably best not to touch the banner, because it's going to feel real bad if you drop a whole bunch of multis on this banner, get a couple of guaranteed featured animations, and then you're getting like AGL Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta and like, you know, in UI Goku or something, right? It's not gonna feel too great. So I think this banner is a perfect opportunity to offload some red coins to get any of those 3 LRs at the top, right? The 8th years and Vegeta and Trunks. Even units like AGL Gogeta, if you don't have him and you kind of want to mess around with him a little bit, could be worth it for the red coins. I feel like he's maybe the only other one. Maybe the Blue Duo from the Tournament of Power, just because they have that potential to get an easy A soon. But we've seen in the past with anniversaries where they could return on the banner or on another banner that's out during the anniversary because they're getting an easy A. So I probably wouldn't necessarily even worry about picking them up with coins just yet either. So the overall verdict, I guess you should say, is this is, I would say, a fairly easy skip for most people, unless, like I say, you're a newer player or you've, you know, stockpiled a whole bunch of stones and you're missing these 4 big LRs in the top. I mean, basically the 4 LRs that are featured on the image, right? If you're missing all of these guys, or you're missing like 3 of them, maybe the banner could be worth a few multis. But I would say make sure you do the free ticket summons first, because you might not actually need to do any summons after that, right? So let me know what you guys think down below in the comment section. Are you looking forward to the banner for the fact you are going to drop a couple of summons? Are you just looking forward to it to drop so you can pick up these guys with the coins? What are your thoughts about Super Saiyan 4 Goku? You know, do you think he will be available with red coins? I think based on everything we know from the past, it's unlikely, but it would be a nice bonus. So, you know, never say never with Dokkan, although usually that ends up we get weird stuff that we've not had before. So it'd be nice to get a nice surprise for something good that we've not had before. So let me know all your thoughts on the Christmas banner down below in the comment section. I think at the time this video is going to go up, this will technically be the last video that goes up on the channel before it officially becomes Christmas Day, at least in my time zone. So like I said at the beginning, I hope you all have a Merry Christmas or Happy Holidays, whatever it is you celebrate. You know, everyone is welcome in the Ningen Club, so I hope you all have a great time. And I will be back in the days after Christmas to cover any new info that comes out and do some stuff. You know, we've got the Great 8 Vegeta EZA coming out, which I will have done a video about at this point. I think we'll have to do a quick showcase for him. But yeah, I hope you guys have a good time, whatever it is you're doing. And thank you for all the support during the year. I hope you guys have a nice holidays, and I will see you all again soon. Have a good one.